I'll never forget the manager being like, yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to be a server. I don't know that you can handle like so many things at once. If you don't look for the bad things constantly, you won't find the bad things. If you look for the good things, you will. The point is that you're getting to learn from other people, getting coached and watching the process and seeing what notes they take and being able to apply it to your own business. That's the point. I can't tell you all my secrets because you just got to experience it. This is about to be such a fun episode because I'm going to give you a little sneak peek behind the scenes of getting to meet Alex Hormozi and his incredible team at acquisition.com. So I invested 6 figures to be able to just sit in this room and be at this table with these other entrepreneurs. They were all 7 or 8 figure entrepreneurs, and we're just sitting there. And it's cool because I made that investment for a few different reasons. And I'm actually going to share with you today my top 10 takeaways. And these were actually questions that I posted on stories on social media. And I was like, hey, what questions do you have about my experience from the day, what I learned and all of that? So I took 10 questions, and I'll read the question and I'll give you an answer. But there's 10 questions we're going to walk through today about what I learned from that day and just being there and the experience, because it was really, really cool. And I had a moment when I was sitting there at the table and I just looked down on my paper and I looked up. I was like, this guy just had a $100 million day. And I'm just sitting here at the table. And there's so many reasons that it's like, I cannot explain to you what it's like until you experience it. And the best analogy I give all the time is floating. You cannot explain what floating feels like in water until you experience it. And that's why I am the biggest advocate of put yourself in the room with someone else who has done something that you haven't so that you can learn, because I just had that moment of just being so grateful, but also like telling myself, who didn't have a business 3 years prior, and telling the version of me that when I worked at O'Charlie's, I'll never forget the manager being like, yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to be a server. I don't know that you can handle like so many things at once. He was like, you'll just stay a hostess. And the way he sold me, he was so nice. He was like, people just love seeing you when they walk in because you're just so happy. You're just like, you're good at that. And I, did the toilet shift really well because I was really detailed. So I would just welcome people, go do that. And it's so funny that he was like, I don't know that you can handle like juggling multiple things at once. And here we are in this place where one of my best roles that I love the most is juggling a bunch of things. And you just learn so much when you put yourself in a room where it kind of takes you back and you're like, there was a moment where I was like, I cannot believe I'm here. Like I went from scrubbing toilets, getting paid to eat, give fried chicken for $8 an hour, and working my butt off and saving and pivoting moves to being in a place where I belong in the room with this person who has had $100 million day. It's just insane. And so what that did though, is it reframed my reality of what's possible. Because one of the things that Alex did was, before he got started, I think I was the one, and I very kindly interrupted and was like, are you going to talk about the book launch at all? We'd love to hear like how that went. He was like, y'all want to hear? And we were like, yeah, we want to hear it. So it was just really, really cool getting to see what is so possible, because he explained the $100 million day like he was explaining how to make $1,000 or boil a thing of fried chicken. It was like, you just do this, and then we did this, and then we did this, and then we learned this, and it was just really freaking cool. So overall, I'll tell you, my experience was fantastic. I have 0 bad things or negative things to say about Alex Hormozi or his team. They're very smart, and I learned a ton. And so what I want to do is share with you 10 things or 10 specific questions people asked, and they're completely random, but these were just questions that were submitted on social media, and I haven't been able to follow up on them, and I feel like they're really good questions, so I'm going to walk through those. One question I have for you before I do this is, have you joined the Win with Paid Ads Challenge? Because if you haven't, you need to click the link below this video or this podcast. And by the way, if you're listening to this podcast and you're listening to it on the podcast and you're not watching it on YouTube, I would love for you to consider going on YouTube and looking at the content, because I don't know if I've shared this. We have exclusive content that we only share on YouTube, like documentaries of behind the scenes of our VIP days, the solo days, the group VIP days, our short-term rental property we're working on, and all the cool stuff that's going on with that. There's so many things that we're sharing exclusively on YouTube. So I want to encourage you to go subscribe to the Win with Paid Ads podcast that's on YouTube. And also, it would mean so much to me and my team if you would leave us a review on this podcast on YouTube, or subscribe on YouTube and leave a review of this podcast on Apple or on Spotify. It would mean so much for us. One of the best gifts that you can give our company as a small business is simply a referral. And the way you're actually giving a referral is by leaving a review. And if there's anything that you feel like we need to be able to make it a 5-star, like please reach out to us, because we want to deliver a 5-star experience in everything we do. And it would just mean so much to us if you would just take a minute and leave that review after this episode. Of course, after you get your ticket to the Win with Paid Ads Challenge. All right, so let's jump into these 10 questions. So question number 1, was it worth it to do the group VIP day, or is one-to-one better? So every single investment is worth it to me, because even if something doesn't go as I anticipate or hope it will, I learned something. And what I have learned and actually trained my brain to do is to not expect something outrageous. I'm like, I expect that I know that I'll learn something, and I'm determined I will find the thing that I learn, but I just don't have overwhelming expectations, because your expectations is what leads to your disappointment. So I'm like, I'm just going to have the expectation that it's going to be great and I'm going to be happy no matter what comes of it. So there is no bad, if you don't look for the bad things constantly, you won't find the bad things. If you look for the good things, you will. So it was absolutely worth it. So the other thing I want to tell you is I never, ever do anything for just one reason. Okay. So there's always another benefit. And so what I signed up for was the opportunity to get feedback from Alex on my business. That's what I signed up for. And it was Alex and his team. This day was just Alex. And then there was a team dinner, but the package that I did came with this day and an opportunity to meet with his team. And so, but that was a separate event. What I'm talking about here is just the event where it was with me, these 9 other business owners, and Alex. So I guess I have to set the stage for you. So the doors opened, we came in, we had breakfast, all the entrepreneurs got to meet each other. And so there's a little mingling time before we kicked off the day. And then Alex's team were in the back taking notes and just doing their thing. And there was actually a lot of people from his team in the back just like learning and absorbing. And one of the things that he shared with us was, it's like, that's really good training and onboarding, is having his team be there. So it actually inspired me. One of the things I did was I said, hey team, I really want everybody to be in the room as we do our VIP days and group VIP days for our clients, because I want them to see really the behind the scenes of what we get to do and how we coach. So that was one thing that I learned from that. But was it worth it, or is one-to-one better? In my opinion, you are simply getting other perspectives when you're in the room with other people. Do I value and have I valued one-on-one time? Would I have loved a one-on-one day and getting to pick Alex's brain for a whole day? Of course I would have. I also am intelligent and know that I'm going to get to experience his brain for a whole day anyway through him coaching these other business owners. And I knew I would get value out of watching him teach them, because I'm smart and I can tie 2 and 2 together and be like, oh, that could work for my business. One of the questions I get often is, well, how could this work for my business? And if you ever catch yourself saying, how could this work for me? I want you to pause and ask yourself that question. Teach your brain to answer your own questions. Don't look for, I don't know how that could work for me. Like, how could that work? Because people, it's like an innate habit. It's like, well, I don't know if that can work for me. Well, you're like looking for the reasons why it couldn't. What if you look for the reasons why it could? And so that's what I do. I'm like, okay, that's a landscaping business. Okay, that person had a car hail removal company. Okay, it's like, that's not what I was looking for. I'm like, how can this process, how can the strategies that he mentioned help me be able to help my people better as well? So there's always something you'll learn from. Gosh, there was this person in the challenge, and maybe they'll listen to this episode and just know that I love you, whoever you are. But someone actually asked in our challenge because there's 3 tickets to our challenge. There's general admission, where you get the training for 5 days. There's VIP, where you get access to the group coaching room. So you get to be a fly on the wall as all the people with the platinum ticket ask their questions. So it would be like someone being in the room watching the 9 of us or 10 of us get coached by Alex. And someone was like, hey, why are we even here if we can't ask a question? Like, what's the point of this? And I'm like, Lord have mercy. The point is that you're getting to learn from other people, getting coached and watching the process and seeing what notes they take and being able to apply it to your own business. That's the point. And I have scaled my life and my business through being in a room with groups. And I actually get more out of not just one-on-one attention, but group attention and learning. So that's why there's not is group or one-on-one better. I feel like they're both immensely valuable. And that's why with our company, it's something we only offer our clients, but any of our clients that want to be a part of a VIP day, they have the option to upgrade and to get us to audit their website, their messaging, their social media, their branding, their ads, their funnel, their process, their whole process from finding you to buying from you. And that is worth it at any point. So anytime you can get that attention from an outside perspective of someone who's smart. Now, if you get someone who, a lot of people, I'm just being completely honest right here. A lot of people that teach ads, they didn't do ads as their career for a decade. They took a course, they got a result, and they're like, I'm just going to teach this thing that I learned last year or a year before last or 2 years ago or 3 years ago. They're not, hey, I've done advertising all day, every day for over a decade with all of these different businesses, had all these different issues. Like there is something that only time can give you. And I've said that before, and I'll say it again. The people that teach you ads, they just learned ads. Or they kind of know ads. And so that's what makes us different. And that is why I paid for Alex to be in that group VIP day. He simply has more experience and receipts and time in the thing. That's why I paid him. I would rather you look for someone, if you're going to pay for a skill and want to get in a group, get with someone who has depth of experience for a long time, that is smart and has receipts, that didn't just learn something from someone else. So like learn something from someone else and then try to sell the thing that someone else taught them. This is different. He compiled his experience like we compile our experience to help what we do. He did it, and that's why I wanted to be in the room. So is one or the other better? No, they're both valuable. And the other thing that I like to think about on was it worth it? I said I don't just do things for one reason. I wanted the information that was in his brain. I wanted the perspective of him on our business. I wanted the connections of the other people in the room. I wanted an opportunity to meet with more of his team in the dinner scenario. I wanted to see the big picture of the whole process from being sold this thing. Like his sales process was worth, like just going through the buying process was like, that is worth it for me, right? So not everyone thinks that way. Now, if you're a 6 or 7 or especially a 7 or 8 figure entrepreneur, that's all you think about. You think about the big picture and you know that you can't not get value from putting yourself through anybody's funnel and purchasing. And so I was told this a long time ago by Macy McNeely, and she told me, she said, you will attract the type of buyer that you are. And I'm like, I'm going to be the buyer that pays for value all day and every day. And it has allowed me to attract people that also happily pay for the value that my team and I have to offer. And so just paying to be in the room, God, I could go on. Okay, we got to get through 10 questions, y'all. Let's roll. Question number 2, what was the best part of the VIP day? Watching these other entrepreneurs and how they spoke to and respected him. It was really cool. His experience and results demanded respect the moment that he walked in. And it was really cool. So my best part was like watching him walk in his, little tank top that he wears. And just being as cool as he is online in person. That was really cool. But watching how everyone else treated him was really cool. He was direct. He was clear. He was honest. He was intelligent. He challenges you. It was just really well done. The best part of the VIP day for me, that was cool. The other thing I wrote down was dinner with his team was invaluable because I think he had a trip he was going out for, but we got to like sit with his team, and my executive assistant Rose actually got to join me at the dinner. And so her just being able to be there, walk into the room and get to meet with these people, it was just really cool getting to learn what I did. I mean, even the dinner conversation I had alone was invaluable to me.
I just wanted to remind you really quickly that if you haven't joined the Win with Paid Ads Challenge, the doors are closing soon. And just as a refresher, this is 5 days of you and or someone on your team learning my 5-part strategy to scale your paid ads. So day 1 is messaging, which is what you say and how you say it. Day 2 is setting, which is all the different places you can place your ads. Think Google ads versus YouTube, Meta, or TikTok. Day 3 is targeting, which is how you can get in front of your exact right person. Day 4 is testing, so you can know what to test and how to improve your ads. And day 5 is scaling and profiting and how you can 10x whatever you're spending on your ads now so that you can have more profit and return and impact, which is ultimately what you want, right? So click the link below, and I cannot wait to see you in the Win with Paid Ads Challenge.
So there were a lot of best parts. Another few things that I wrote down is he doesn't perform, he answers, and he's so confident and so clear, and it's something that I respected so much. The other thing is he was very calm, and he did not complicate anything. And when he was done speaking on that subject, he didn't over talk. That's something I struggle with because I get excited. He just said his statement and moved on. Question number 3, what are the 3 things you implemented? Well, gosh, there were so many. One of the things I implemented was elevating my highest tier offer. So I offer for my highest tier, only for my 7 and 8 figure entrepreneurs, I do a solo VIP day. And that alone can make people millions, if not tens of millions of dollars, depending on their business, by having some outside perspective. Say, hey, here's a few things with your ads, with your messaging, with your funnel, with your structure, with your branding, with your social, like all of that can pay dividends, and no one does it like our team does it. Meredith, our creative lead, is so freaking good that every time we do a website audit, like we were at this week's VIP day and we went around the room and was like, what was your favorite part of the day? And she's like, honestly, Meredith's audit of my website. I learned so much. It was so valuable. And I'm like, yeah, that one thing was worth it. And there's so much more to it than that. So for me, it was validating that what we do have is really freaking good. Because like the way we do our VIP days is different than his. And I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm biased to say that we do things really cool too, right? But his day was fantastic. But we elevated my highest tier offer. And the reason for that was, I think I said this on the previous podcast, but one of our clients from our VIP day 2 weeks ago had a 100% increase in their conversion rate for the Nutritional Coaching Institute, now the Nutritional Career Institute. And that is a life-changing thing to have a funnel go from converting at one. It'd be life-changing to go from 10% to 12%, let alone 10% to 20%. So I have resold myself on the value that our days provide and that our team provides, from the, content and creative and ads and the sales page videos and ad videos and fun. Like we just do so much. So Alex looked at me and was like, this part of the offer, dead, unnecessary for people to get the result. And I agreed. And so we restructured the offer to make it what I feel like is even better. And it was really cool. It eliminated something that was taking a lot of my time, energy, and effort, and it was not critical to the success. And in fact, so I could go on. So I changed my highest tier offer. I was more confident in that offer, which allows me to sell it better. So that alone was cool. And then, we actually changed our VIP day process as a result of experiencing his VIP day. One of the things that we do in our group VIP days is we go around the room and we have a whole process. But at the end of the day, even though we're in a group, everyone gets some one-on-one time with me and some one-on-one time with Meredith and some one-on-one time with other people who are part of the VIP day. I can't tell you all my secrets because you just got to experience it, okay? You just got to do a VIP day because it's really cool how we do it. But I would have loved, and I'll give this feedback to Alex and his team. They're so open and receptive to feedback, and they may have a reason that they don't do it this way. But I would have loved to have just had 10 minutes to just do a rotation where I got to ask him a couple of questions. And so we've structured our day where everyone gets some one-on-one time with me and the rest of my team, and they get to give some peer-to-peer feedback, which is that has been invaluable. So we've structured our days really cool. So that was one thing that I was like, ooh, I want that. So let's create that for our clients. And another thing, which is just, I'm already spending 6 figures on ads for challenges, but he was just like, you need to spend more. His thing is like more or better. And I'm like, oh yeah, we could do more. So just even me spending more on my own ads, it's crazy. I was like, okay, we can spend more. Doing challenges more often. That was something, because his thing was like, there's more and then there's better. He's like, you should do more challenges. And although I believe that their team would prefer that I do a challenge every week, what I won't be doing is a challenge every week. That would be wild just with life and everything. And I really enjoy the structure that we have. So we're going to do, I think, a couple more for 2026. And those were the things. Okay, so question number 4. What areas are you more on track with than you realize? Shoot, I realized just how good me and my team are at funnel building and the videos that we use and how we use them throughout and how we teach our clients to use them, no matter what type of business they have and where we tell them to use them. Every single thing that he said, I was like, yep, that's what we say. Yep, that's what we do. Yeah, like that, the video and the messaging and the process that he talked about when it comes to videos in the funnel specifically, I was like, we have done that since day one. And that was Very validating. So I was on track with that. And then, of course, one of the areas I was on track with is he was encouraging some of them to do paid advertising on Google and Meta and all these places. And I was like, yep, I think we've got that one in the bucket. So that was really cool. Question number 5, top 2 things I learned from other people. So this was like one that just relates to my business. Of course, that's the thing, because it's like, what did I learn from the other participants? I learned that there are so many extremely successful entrepreneurs with 7 and 8 figure businesses that still don't understand some of these basic things about advertising, which are holding them back from having exponential performance success. So for the 9 millionth time, I learned that there are just so many people that don't know what we teach and how we teach it, and that it is such a valuable thing, because that was some of the feedback. And he gave them, he was like, you need to do these type of ads. And it's like, how cool that I can be like, hey, you need to do these type of ads, and let me show you exactly how to do it so you can have that skill in-house. So I learned that advertising is still very much needed, and that most of them, if not all of them, were advertising very heavily and across multiple channels, which is what we teach. And I learned, like, I was able to get so much content ideas. Like, as they were asking their questions to him, I was like, many of those questions actually tied to advertising and messaging and your funnel and your videos. And I was like, these are all things that my team and I specialize in. So that was cool. What else did I learn? I actually learned one of these guys has a 8-figure pest control business, actually. Very cool. He has a huge YouTube following. I mean, big, incredible entrepreneur. And I learned that with his sales team, he has them earn their Google leads, because the Google leads are such gold because they're raising their hand searching. He's like, yeah, I get somebody to close however many Meta leads, Facebook and Instagram leads, before I give them the opportunity to touch the golden Google leads. And that's why, for my clients and for you, I feel like you should not treat all leads equally. Google leads may cost you more, and they may be more quality than Meta. So you just have to balance that out as an entrepreneur. Maybe your construction company, there was one of those in there. And it's like, maybe your leads on Google are $500 a lead, but you get the $50,000 jobs on that. But maybe you get, $100 cost per leads on Meta, and you need 5 of those for it to be able to work. So it was just like how he thought, like, it was cool hearing how he thought about leads. Cause I think my clients, they think, oh, what's my cost per lead? And it helped me be like, wait, no, you really do need to have a different target cost per lead on different platforms based on the goal of that platform and the intent behind the person that is submitting the lead, which I thought was good. And then I think it was honestly, I also learned that I'm not the only one that's struggling to just let go of control. I'm such a control freak, and I care about the business so much. It's my baby. It's my 3rd baby. And so I'm like, I struggle with delegating some things sometimes. And I was not alone. A lot of these entrepreneurs were like, well, I have this manager and he's calling me asking these questions. And Alex was like, the only way he's going to learn is if you let him do it. Just let him own it. And so that was really, I learned kind of some of Alex's thoughts behind how he delegates and it empowers his team to own things. And what else did I write down? Yeah, I think it was that. I think that was the biggest one. Okay, so let's move to question number 6. Was it group coaching, and what was the process to the invite like? So it really was, it was I was in a group, but we were getting coached one-on-one, but that is what group coaching is. It's you getting feedback one-to-one. It's just other people learning and listening from it. That's all group coaching is. It's personalization amongst humanization, other humans. And so the invite process, I believe, and this is just part of the process from my experience, is that they select a few business owners based on where they're at with their business and invite them, if it makes sense, to invite them to those days. So I think they have a behind the scenes process, but I don't know all the ins and outs of that. But what I do know is it was group coaching, and it was an invite. So I received a letter, and then I didn't read the letter because I was busy after it. And someone was like, hey, did you read the letter? And I was like, I didn't get a chance. What does the letter say? And they're like, well, Alex, we wanted to work with you at this level. And I was like, okay, how much is it? And they're like, well, we have a process. So I went through the process. I respected the process and got some information about the program. And then I did it within 24 hours. But I'll tell you, just watching their team and their sales process, it was fire. I'm like, this is so good. And so that was just worth it. So question number 7, what was the timeline breakdown from the visit? So Rose and I landed in Las Vegas on the day before. We got a blowout, because my new hack, by the way, is to get a blowout in the location of where I'm at so that the whole rest of the trip I've got great hair. And so that was really awesome. So we went and got a blow. We got settled. We actually went up to the room. Rose unpacked my suitcase, got everything set up while I was working. And then by the time she got done getting the room organized and placing a room service, I was done working. We ate, and then we went to get our hair done. And then we just walked through this mall, went back, and went to bed. And then the next day, I woke up. I went to the day because it was a full day from 8 a.m. to like 8 p.m. So it was a long day. And she got to meet me at dinner. She couldn't be in the room for the coaching, which I totally respect and I agree with. With our VIP days, it depends. We typically don't have if your team wants to join, they can watch the recording or join live. But it was nice to have the group as it was in person. I could see how it'd be distracting to have more people. But she joined for dinner. I think she like laid by the pool a little bit and got some work done during the day. We had dinner with his team, which was amazing. And then we went home the next day. It was very quick. We are going back in April. And so when we go in April, we might stay an extra day and just have fun while we're out there. Me and Rose and my director of operations. All right. So question number 8, was he scary? No, he wasn't scary. He was great. He was as advertised. He is who he is. And it was great. I had utter respect. I thought it was a great experience from start to finish. You can just tell when people are just good humans. And that's one of the reasons he's successful. And so no, he was intense in a good way, but he was very kind, very direct. I don't even know if intense is right. He's just clear and he just goes. Yeah. So I thought it was awesome. Did I meet Leila? No, I'm so sad. Leila, if you ever listen to this, I just want you to know, I really would love to meet you. You're on my bucket. Meeting you is on my bucket list, Leila Hormozi. Okay. She's so cool. But no, I did not get to meet her. And then question number 10, why did you want to work with Alex specifically? So I think his content has been so helpful to me. Like actually he over teaches. I feel like he's very generous with what he teaches and the information he gives access to out of his brain. And so I just got so much value. And of course, you know how you like watch people enough and you're like, I feel like I know you. I felt like that. I was like, I know this guy. He's going to be great. It's going to be smart. It's going to be very effective. I just want to put myself in rooms where I belong. And that identity is something that I just didn't feel for a long time. And now I just know that I belong. And I know that when I saw $100 million day, like my brain is so changed in a way that I'm like, that's possible. Like I could see that. It just makes sense to me. So I am so glad that I did it. I wanted to work with him because he has, in a way, created an educational model. And what I do is an educational model. I love empowering people to have the knowledge to be successful, and that's what he does. So his business and my business, I see so many similarities. One of the reasons I decided to work with him was I'd watched all his content for a while. Then I went to one of his workshops with Laura Beth. We got so much value, and that's when we were like, okay, we want to work with their team more closely. So I'm so glad that I did. And everything that I said, like, this is my dream, right? Your dream, if you really think about what's happening here, is Alex did not pay me to like do this episode, of course. And I also did a testimonial for him on a video that they used in an ad because my testimonial was so kind and so good. And the ultimate goal for you is that someone loves working with you so much that they go put their time and energy for free to be like, hey, this was amazing. That is the goal. And by the way, if you work with my team, we do have an affiliate link. So if you were to do a podcast or share or be like, hey, the team is amazing, we have an affiliate link so that you can get paid to share and refer business to us because that means so much to us. So, but that's what you want. You just want to do good work. And when you do good work, I promise you will get rewarded for it. And there will be abundance. You will make it rain. And what's really cool is you can take these testimonials. And I even got to see his testimonial process, which helped me and Robert, my videographer. We'll link to Robert below this video. He loves when I do that. Yay. But like Robert has helped us with our testimonials for our clients. And it's from things I learned from how their process went. So I can't tell you enough how anytime you invest in anything, if you will just look for all the many ways that you can learn and absorb from someone, like in our mastermind, in our Hall of Fame, and our product VIP days, there's so much you can learn from our flow of our business, just like I did from his. So if you are interested on any VIP day stuff with our team, like just send us a message on Instagram and say VIP day and we will get back to you. But I hope this was helpful. We absolutely love getting to meet Alex and his team and I can't wait to report back. We're going to go out there in April and share what it's like. So summary of this episode, every investment will either pay you in profit, perspective, or proximity. Don't invest in anything looking for one answer. Invest to become a different version of you that is exponentially more aware and connected than you ever could have been before. And learn, and remember that learning is not about imitation. It is about integration and integrating yourself with the way other people run their businesses so that you can learn. And just remember that you belong in rooms that stretch you. And you staying in your comfort zone and in a group of people that you're all at about the same level is not going to propel you to the next level. And so that's why I keep putting myself in those rooms and rooms and rooms, and you can do the same thing. We'd love to have you in our room. But in the meantime, we got some good stuff coming up on the podcast. So on the next episode of the Win with Pay Dads podcast, it's actually a really, really special one. So you're actually going to get to have Kyle back on the podcast. Turns out the only video we've had go mega viral is Kyle. So back by popular demand on the next episode is my husband. And we're actually going to talk about, because it's the Thanksgiving episode, and we're going to talk about an organization that we have given to this year and something really special we're doing. And we're going to tell you a little behind the scenes of our relationship on why this specific organization was so meaningful and impactful for us. And you're really going to love it. So I cannot wait to see you on the next episode. Go advertise your name. Make it rain, and I'll see you soon.